Taliban refugee minister Khalil-ur-Rahman Haqqani killed in a suicide bombing in Afghanistan Wednesday, one of the most significant attacks on a Taliban leader since the group returned to power in August 2021. The disastrous U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan allowed the Taliban back into power. House Republicans have been highly critical of the Biden administration's handling of that withdrawal.
You had plenty of opportunity to plan for the inevitable collapse of Afghanistan. Instead, even with the warning bells sounding loudly, ringing loudly, you denied the imminent and dangerous threats to American interests, American citizens, and our decade-long Afghan partners.
U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken appeared before the House Foreign Affairs Committee. Blinken said President Joe Biden inherited a deadline from former President Donald Trump, but no plan to meet it.
Had he not followed through on his predecessor's commitment, attacks on our forces and allies would have resumed, and the Taliban's assault on the country's major cities would have commenced. That would have required sending tens of thousands more U.S. forces back into Afghanistan to defend ourselves and prevent a Taliban takeover.
The incoming House Foreign Affairs Committee chairman, Republican Brian Mast, who lost both his legs fighting in Afghanistan, said the U.S. State Department has not been held to account for the withdrawal.
This place absolutely lives up to being a swamp when we try to cover up the fact that 26 of your diplomats told you directly that if you continued down the path that you were going, that it was going to be a disaster. And we should not be covering that up.
But the top Democrat on the committee said Republicans had not followed through with any attempts to prevent those problems from happening again.
The Republicans' so-called investigation has been nothing but a cudgel aimed at partisan politics, in my opinion. To claim now that it's aimed at a real and legislative purpose when I don't see any tangible, they have not introduced a single bill. There's not been a bill at all introduced from this investigation.
13 U.S. service members and 170 Afghan civilians died in the Abbey Gate bombing in Kabul on August 26, 2021. Katherine Gypson, VOA News, Washington.